Listen to me for a moment. Right now, at this very second, your heart is beating with possibility, even if your mind is full of doubt. You showed up here carrying questions, pressure, expectations, maybe even fear. And I'm telling you, before we go any further, that the fact you're here means something in you refuses to quit. That quiet voice inside you didn't let you stay comfortable. It didn't let you stay silent. It pushed you forward. And that right there is the beginning of greatness. Now let me talk to you, not at you. I'm not standing here as someone who has it all figured out. I'm standing here as someone who has fallen, failed, doubted, restarted, and kept going anyway. I know what it's like to look in the mirror and wonder if you're enough. I know what it's like to hear the noise from the outside telling you who you should be, what you should do, how fast you should be moving. And I also know this: the world doesn't reward potential. It rewards commitment. You see, talent will take you only so far. Being gifted is nice. Being smart is helpful. Being lucky is great when it happens. But none of those things will carry you through the long nights when nobody is clapping. None of those things will wake you up early when the bed feels too good and the dream feels too far away. What carries you then is discipline. What carries you then is faith. What carries you then is the decision you make when nobody is watching. I want you to understand something today. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You don't have to be fearless to be brave. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is showing up while your hands are shaking and your heart is racing. Courage is saying, I'm scared, but I'm going anyway. Courage is taking one more step when everything in you wants to stop. Some of you are waiting for permission, waiting for the right time, waiting to feel ready. Let me tell you something plainly: you will never feel ready. Growth doesn't wait for comfort. Purpose doesn't wait for certainty. The moment you step forward, clarity starts to meet you halfway. You don't get the full picture before you begin, you get the next step. And the next step is enough. I've learned that life has a funny way of testing you right before you level up. Right when you decide to change, something will try to pull you back. An old habit, an old voice, an old version of you that feels familiar. But familiar doesn't mean fulfilled. Comfortable doesn't mean called. Sometimes the life you want is on the other side of the life you've outgrown. Stop measuring your progress against someone else's timeline. Their race is not your race. Their chapter is not your chapter. You don't know what they sacrificed to get where they are, and they don't know what you're carrying either. Comparison will steal your joy and confuse your purpose if you let it. Run your race. Stay in your lane. Finish strong. Let me talk about failure for a second, because a lot of people are scared of it. Failure is not your enemy. Quitting is. Failure is feedback. Failure is a teacher. Failure is proof that you tried. The only real failure is refusing to get back up. Every setback has something to say to you, but you have to be humble enough to listen and strong enough to continue. You are not defined by your worst moment. You are not disqualified because you made a mistake. You are not finished because you fell short. You are still breathing, and as long as you're breathing, you still have purpose. Don't let one chapter convince you the whole story is over. There will be people who don't understand your vision. That's okay. It wasn't given to them. There will be people who doubt you, question you, underestimate you. Let them. Sometimes people can only see as far as their own limitations. Don't shrink to make them comfortable. Don't dim your light to avoid criticism. Shine anyway. I want you to think about what you're doing daily, not occasionally, daily. Because your life doesn't change in big dramatic moments. It changes in small, consistent decisions. What you do when you wake up, what you feed your mind, who you listen to, what you tolerate. Those things are shaping your future right now, whether you're paying attention or not. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Read that again in your mind. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. The future you is watching the present you. Don't let that future version down. Some of you are carrying guilt. Some of you are carrying regret. You're replaying old decisions, old words, old moments. I need you to hear me clearly. You cannot drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. Learn from the past, yes. Honor the lessons, yes. But stop living there. Forgive yourself. Release it. Growth requires space, and guilt takes up too much room. Faith plays a role in all of this. And I'm not just talking about belief in something higher. I'm talking about belief in yourself when the evidence is thin. Faith is moving before the results show up. Faith is working when nobody is rewarding you yet. Faith is planting seeds knowing you won't eat the fruit immediately. There's a cost to greatness. Let's be honest about that. It will cost you comfort. It will cost you distractions. It might even cost you relationships that can't grow with you. But everything of value has a price. The question is not whether it will cost you. The question is whether what you're paying now is worth what you're getting later. I want you to stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I succeed? What if you actually become who you've been dreaming about? What if you break the cycle? What if you set a new standard? What if your courage gives someone else permission to rise? You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be willing to do the work. Show up tired. Show up unsure. Show up imperfect, but show up. Consistency will take you places motivation never will. And when it gets hard, and it will, remember why you started. Remember the people you're doing this for. Remember the version of you that prayed for the opportunities you have right now. Don't quit on a bad day. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. You have something inside you that the world needs. Not a copy, not a watered-down version. The real you, the disciplined you, the focused you, the resilient you. And it's time you stop playing small with a life that was meant to be lived fully. So when you leave here, walk differently, speak differently, think differently. Make a promise to yourself that you will no longer negotiate with your potential. Decide that excuses no longer get a seat at the table. Decide that today is the day you stop waiting and start becoming. I believe in effort. I believe in preparation. I believe in showing up again and again until the breakthrough happens. And I believe that if you commit to the process, if you stay faithful to the work, if you keep your head up and your standards high, you will look back one day and realize that this moment right now was the turning point. Stand tall. Stay hungry. Keep going. Your future is waiting on the choices you make today.